Welcome students to our online classes. Myself Ashwini Honkars is going to explain you a lesson physical and chemical changes. Now you can see three girls or mama and two daughters are preparing rotis over here, right? Then what they are preparing? Rotis, right? Now we can able to see over here a plant is growing, right? A plant is growing. Its roots are going down and taking water to grow up, right? So, this is also a type of change. Even snow melts and flows as a river, right? Yes. So, like this, in every day we come across many changes in our life. So, let us see some changes which come across in our daily life. For example, a sugar solution from the sugar, setting of curd from the milk, melting of ice, making of ice cream, then melting of wax, stretching of rubber band, evaporation of water, cutting of paper, breaking of glass pan. So these are some changes which come across in our daily life. Broadly, the changes are divided in two main kinds. So first one is physical change and another one is chemical change. Physical change. In a physical change, a substance change its only properties. Its properties like shape, size, color and state. But there will be no new substance will be formed. So this is called as a physical change, right? And the main thing in the physical change is it is a temporary change. It is what? It is a temporary change and only physical property of the substance will be changed like shape, size, color and state. Okay. Now let us see one example over here. Here ice cubes are converted in the form of water. So it is just a temporary change. We may convert again water as ice cubes. So here only the property of a substance is changed, but substance remain as it is. Now let us see some characteristics over physical changes. So physical changes are temporary changes and no new substance will be formed, right? Now let us see here no new substance are formed and it is a temporary change as well as the temporary change in color may takes place. In that the color may takes place. Very little energy is either absorbed or evolved. So what will happen in physical change? Very little energy either absorbed or evolved. Now let us move towards the chemical change. So keep in mind, chemical change is a permanent change. Chemical change is what? It is a permanent change and we are calling it as a chemical reaction also. We are calling it as chemical reaction also because some reactions are going on and here a new substance will form. What will form? A new substance will be formed. Okay. Now let us see example. Here a metal is rusted. It is rusted with a brown color. It is rusted with a brown color. It is also a kind of reaction, right? It is also a kind of reaction. And keep in mind, a chemical change is always a permanent change. It is always a permanent change and here a new substance will be formed. So here also you can see that a metal react with the moisture or it will react with the air, water droplets present in the air and it gives a rusting. It gives what? Rusting. This rusting powder is nothing but a chemical change. It is a chemical change. Now you can see how it is rusted. It is rusted. Even the materials which we are using in the gardens, that also rusted, right? So this is all because of a moisture present in air. This is moisture present in the air. So this process is called as a rusting. What we will call it as rusting. Now, so to know how the chemical reactions are going on, let us study some activities. Let us conduct some activities. So now we are going to take some amount of vinegar, and we are going to take baking soda. Now we will take one container. In that we are going to pour vinegar. So some amount of vinegar we are going to take. Now we are going to add some amount of baking soda. So just observe what will happen over here. A gas is released. Yes, a gas is released. So this gas is carbon dioxide. This gas is carbon dioxide, and this a lime water color, a white color. It we say it is a milky lime water color. So now we can understand that how the reaction is going on in the vinegar with baking soda, right? Now, what we can say, when a baking soda reacts with a vinegar which contain acetic acid, carbon dioxide comes out, which turns lime water milky. Therefore, it is a chemical change. So, just now we observed how the vinegar turns into lime water milky. In all these activities, we saw that in each change, one or more new substances are formed. One or more new substances are formed. Now let us conduct another activity. Now we are going to conduct a practical over here. So I have one Bunsen burner, one scissor, one magnesium ribbon, right? One magnesium ribbon. So here I written one chemical formula that 2 mg plus O2 gives 2 mgO. Means what? Mg, it is the scientific formula for magnesium. O, it is the sign, it is a symbol for oxygen, right? So when magnesium combined with oxygen, it gives magnesium oxide. It gives magnesium oxide. So now let us see how the magnesium react with oxygen. Now here we started the Bunsen burner. One piece of magnesium ribbon I will take, and it started. Now so magnesium oxide will form, right? It forms some magnesium oxide. Now let us start the practical. With the help of scissor, or we may say it as a holder, I will take the magnesium ribbon. Now hold it properly and burn it in front of flame. Now you can observe the color of flame. It will burns with a white color. It will burns with a white color flame, right? So what we can say, when a magnesium ribbon was burnt, the ash was the new substance formed, but it is always burned with the white color. It is always white burn with the white color. So whatever ash will form, that is also new substance, but you have to keep in mind it always burn with the white color. So let us conduct another activity. In the activity of sulfate, copper sulfate react with the iron, a new substance will form, that is iron sulfate and copper. That is iron sulfate and copper. Now, in addition to new products, the following may accompany a chemical change. It may accompany a chemical change. Now, see. So, whenever a chemical reaction is going on, so these all things will happen. Which are those? When there will be a chemical change or chemical reaction is going on, heat, light, or any other radiations may be given off or absorbed. Means sometimes it will gives the light, heat, and energy, and sometimes it will absorb the heat, light, and energy. The sound may produce. What will happen when there will be a chemical reaction? A sound may produce. A change in smell may take place, or a new smell may be given off. So, when we will carefully observe the chemical change, there will be a different types of smells will come. A color change may take place. A gas may be formed. So, these are the things which happen when there will be a chemical change. Now, some chemical changes in our daily life. Let us see which are those. So, chemical changes are very important in our lives. Indeed, every new material is discovered by studying chemical changes. For example, when a metal is kept in or when a metal is extracted from the ore such as iron from iron ore, we need to carry out a series of chemical changes, and medicine is the end product of chain of chemical reactions. So when there will be a chemical change, new materials such as plastic, detergent, and other products will be formed. So this is the thing what happen, these all products we all are using in our daily life. We all are using in our daily life, but we are just using, whether we thought that how these are producing in the factories, what they need to produce these all things. So to produce all those things, there also some chemical reactions are going on, and with the help of that chemical reactions they are producing these all products. Now let us consider some more examples. So, which are those? So, the first one, an explosion of crackers. The explosion of crackers is a very good example, and you all are familiar with this, right? Because you all knows. So, whenever festivals will come, you likes to explode that crackers. You want to use that crackers, right? Because you are enjoying that crackers. So what will happen? There will be also a chemical change. What will happen when you use the crackers? You can observe that a light and heat, even the gas will also produce. So see, when the cracker will be there, you can use that cracker. That time the light, heat, as well as gas will be released, right? So, what will happen? An explosion of a firework is also a chemical change which produces heat, light, sound, and unpleasant gases. We can say unpleasant sound and that gases which pollute the atmosphere, that also produce. Now, when food gets spoiled, right? So you can see here how the food is gets spoiled, and if you take the smell, a bad smell comes over the food, right? So this is also chemical change. This is also chemical change. This is because of microorganisms. This all happen because of microorganisms. Now you can see, when we will cut the apple, even even brinjal, so that time a red color layer comes on the apple as well as brinjal. Even potatoes you can take, that also turns into red color. So this is because when they react with the oxygen present in the air, their color turns into red. Their color turns into red. So this is also a type of chemical reaction. Now you can say, when acid reacts with a base, what will happen? When acid reacts with a base, what will happen? So a neutralization reaction takes place when an acid reacts with a base. What will happen? A neutralized reaction. So we may give a definition for neutralization reaction, that when an acid reacts with a base, a salt and water will be formed. A salt and water will be formed, and this reaction is called as a neutralization reaction. What we can say, this reaction is called as a neutralization reaction. So in formula, how we can write? Acid plus base gives water plus salt. Acid plus base gives water plus salt. So example we can take here, hydrochloric acid. HCl is defined by hydrochloric acid. It will react with a base, that is sodium hydroxide. It reacts with the base what? Sodium hydroxide, and gives water plus sodium chloride. This is a salt. This is a type of salt. Now, even if you see a photosynthesis process where the plant is taking water, carbon dioxide, oxygen, everything, a photosynthesis reaction is going on. There also a chemical change will happen, because when carbon dioxide reacts with the water and sunlight, the photosynthesis process is going on. With the help of photosynthesis, a new substance will form, that is called as a sugar. It is called as a sugar. So this is called as a chemical change. Now, even we can say that digestion process. The digestion process is also chemical change. So in the process of digestion, the various food materials breaks down to form new substance which can be absorbed by the body. So the process of digestion is also a chemical change. Now we can take an example of rusting of iron. Just now we observed that how the metals are get rusted. So how we can define about the rusting? When an iron object is left exposed to moist air, it chemically reacts with the oxygen and water in the air to form a red brown flaky substance called a rust. The process of rusting can be represented by the following equation. So how we can write about rusting? Iron plus oxygen in presence of air plus water gives rusting. Gives rusting. So we can say the rusting may occurs in the presence of both oxygen and water. Why water? Because oxygen is present in the water. Oxygen is present in the water. Even in the humid air. The humid air. Why humid air? Because water amount is more in the humid air. So more the humid air and more the rusting. More the humid air, more the rusting. Yes, slowly the rusting corrodes the iron, leading considerable loss. So wherever the metal is present, if you keep them as it is in the moisture, they get rusted. They get rusted. Now, if a rusting is a that much big loss, then how to prevent from rusting? How to prevent from rusting? See, a first method is rusting can be prevented by not allowing the iron to come in contact with the moisture or air. Right? The simpler method, we have to keep the metal things safe, that they can not come in contact with the moisture. Yes, and the second method, that the simplest method to use a coat of iron with the oil, grease or paint. These coats should be applied regularly to prevent the rusting. You can see the metals are colored with the oil, colored with the oil color, or we may say oil paint. Why? Because that they are preventing the metal with the by the rusting. Now, the next method, that is a more efficient method, is to coat the iron with the another metal such as a zinc or chromium. So, if you overlap a metal with another metal, that is purposely zinc or chromium, so that process is called as a galvanization. What we are calling it as galvanization. So, by the method of galvanization, we can prevent the rusting. Now, rusting of ship is a major problem. Why, you know? Because ship are always in water. They are always in water. And when metal come in contact with water, definitely it will goes rusting. So, to prevent all, we have to be paint that ships again and again, or we are using stainless steel rather than that metal. So means we are mixing some other metals with that particular metal, and the stainless steel, it also contain a particular metals, and that we are using to preparing it to prevent the metal by the rusting. Now let us see what is crystallization. Now we have here thread, copper solution, and copper crystals. Now we are going to start the burner. Here tripod stand and glass sheet is there. There we are going to heat the copper solution, and slowly we are going to add copper crystals in the copper solution. So we are going to add that, it will be some amount of copper crystals will be remain as it is in the solution. Now with the help of pencil, we are going to prepare the thread, and we will keep its side, and we will pour the copper solution, hot copper solution, in the empty container. Now leave it as it is for some time. Now you can observe how the copper crystals attached to the thread. Now, what we can say about the crystallization? The process of cooling a hot concentrated solution of a substance to obtain crystal is called as a crystallization. What we can say? A process of cooling a hot concentrated solution of a substance to obtain crystals is called as a crystallization. Or the process of crystallization is used to obtain crystals of a pure solid substance from the impure solid substance. What we can say about the crystallization? The process of crystallization is used to obtain crystals of a pure solid substance from the impure solid substance. And impure copper sulfate powder can be purified by the process of crystallization. So, the copper sulfate powder we are going to purify with the help of crystallization. A large crystals of a pure copper sulfate will be formed by the help of crystallization. Thank you.